know if you still recall. Do you still recall?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Blessing na kudakashe, how are you?
How are you?
Fine.
Blessing. Blessing ana network. Network yagai.
Akumtikudaira wani say.
Oh, that sounds well. That sounds well. It's fine. So how are you doing? Ko Lorena enda kupi angaripo.
I'm fine.
Lorena angaripo a couple of minutes ago, but andichamoni.
Right.
Okay. Right. Great. Saka, what we want to do, and it so I would have pick up from where we left off. I did it. So a methodical breakdown of our course content, and did it. These are guys.
Yes.
All right, great. Saga curriculum, let me open it this side so that you can actually see as well. Put it up. Last date being the 10th of February. Yes. Oh. Komurimo kudhara ingwani. All right. Okay, great. Mamuri kupiko pandaka we. Musadaro.
Protection.
Oh, I was hoping to see you. And kuti tironge kuti toita sei, but you were nowhere to be seen. No, that's okay. So today we are looking at primary concepts in coding, and pataka ita introductory session when I came over. We looked at some of the programs that ziripo pa homepage Python and it. So that's on the website, the homepage, where we can then download. Brian, are you there?
Yeah.
Wakazo set up environment iri pamakompyuta evanhu.
Ndina mashoma ndwanare.
Wakaisa mashoma. Oh, then it's a good thing kuti vanhu varipo nhasi vashoma, because what it then means is we can quickly look at its practical usage. Nemanhingirikini atakatoita kudhara, handiti. So munhu wese ngaaende pakompyuta yakaiswa Python, so that we are able kuti tishandise. I don't know kuti unokwanisa kuvaratidza here kuti ine dzinei Python. Okay, munhu wese apa computer ine Python handiti? Oh, kuda kwashe Blessing na Lorraine. Munawo here ma installation, makaisa here environment yePython.
To set her up now, sir.
Okay, ko askana. Ima askana.
Sorry,
Teacher.
andinakunyatsodzwa mubvunzo wenyu.
Dati maka download
Temati.
Python. Maka download Python.
Regai ndigozodownload.
Ko izvezvi zvazviti.
Handisati.
Alright, regai tigo download.
Muchaita mese.
Alright.
Ndiri kuda kunzwa kuti muchaita mese here.
Lorraine ari kupi?
Ndiri kuchipinge.
Saka sei usiri kuhub?
Hello.
Ndati saka sei usiri kuhub kana uri kuchipinge?
Ndakaitanga ndabatwa neflu pandakabvoko.
Oh, saka uri kuisolate.
Isolation.
Inga waita basa wakacha infector classes. Right. So I do hope we set up a computer in a Python so that we can proceed. Eh? Takuendera mberi handiti Brian haugari pasi nei. Uri kumboiteiko? Right. Handiti munonzwa kuti ICT handiti Information Communications Technology handiti. The whole point of ICTs handiti is to get data as input, to process it, and then to bring out information as output. No basa rema ICTs, you know. Saka, whatever you're going to do in my computers, whatever you do, it revolves around taking data, processing it, and then bringing out output. That's the whole point.
Yes.
Saka isusu, when we are writing my programs, we are going to be programmers, and we are going to write my systems. We're going to write even my short scripts, my programs. The whole idea is for us to take data, to process it, and then to bring out output. Saka, it's those three steps: input, process, output. Input, process, output. So far, so good. Details and it.
Yes.
Yeah. Saka, fundamentally, when you're writing a program, any program is going to require an input. It's going to process, and then it's going to give an output. And it. Saka panapa, let's do my quick examples. Let's do my quick examples. My programs are talking about. what kind of programs can we make? I'll give an example. We can make a program inotora mazita evana vari kuatenda YIP, your server, then kana tikazocheka kuti munhu ari present here kana kuti ari absent, tokwanisa kutarisa pasystem iyoyo. Can you give another example of a system inenge ine maprocesses iwayo and then identify them? Kuti input iri papi, process iri papi, output iri papi.
Sir, can you
Yes, could I
hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you. Tipetinzo.
We can have a system here. Ask out for weight yakomundu, right? It's either you can write your weight in kgs or in pounds, and it can also convert. Maybe if you write it in kgs, it can convert for you in pounds nongarichi, or if you write it in pounds, you can also convert it to in kgs nongarichi.
And wonderful. That's a very good example. Saka, can you identify manje kuti input in the EP, process in the EP, output in the EP?
So the input the weight yako, then the process is where it's converting, be it kgs or pounds, into certain natural order. Then the output is the number but in kgs is this amount, then you get the output yet.
And Saka, tell us clear about that. And does anyone else have a different example of input, process, output? Mangangonditarisa. Amana musatanga kuvharwa ipapa ka because tichazotanga kuita polymorphism. Come on, just another example before we move on. Just one more example. Saka uri kuudzani? Ataura akatinzwe.
Right. We can make a program, BMI, body mass index. We input our height and our weight, and then it calculates the body mass index as an outcome.
Saka input chi,
Weight and height.
process chi,
Calculation, I mean calculate.
output chi.
Body mass index.
All right, wonderful. Already, my examples are Mandipa Arituga. Do you realize could I demonstrate something? Whenever we do our input, process, output, we are able to do it sometimes with single values or sometimes with multiple values. Some combination of values as input. And then you can also do a combination of processes per process. And then you can do a combination as well per output. So you can have a composite or you can have a singular approach to input, process, and output. Teaching this a and okay, wonderful that we are still together. And so now let's talk about the building blocks that no Shandisa who construct our programs in. Now, last time, Pandandrico, we talked about variables, and you still remember?
Yes.
Okay. So, textbook definition, and since I know it's probably good for someone who knows notes, anenge asina like a textbook definition yekuti what is a variable. And can anyone attempt that to give us a textbook definition, or someone can look it up online? What is a variable? Okay, so I'm just going to take a quick definition from Wikipedia and it. Charter. I don't know if you'll be able to access the charter and then I'll read it out to you. So what it says is, in computer programming, a variable is an abstract storage location paired with an associated symbolic name which contains some known or unknown quantity of information referred to as a value. Or in simpler terms, a variable is a container for a particular set of bits or type of data. And it Saka teachers and it like a variable no contain a value. And it value, of course, having to be of a specific type. And it so that a variable runs the age. There's a age is agasiana, but my age is the from variable runs the age. Are we together, Ipa?
Age.
And it so since Ipa Papo, now the next part is what is a constant? It's another tool that's not going to answer instead of a variable. A constant manje inengeri value risinga change. And it Munema examples of constants. I'll give you an example of a constant. Or it's a bad constant, but it's still a constant. The distance between Harare and Chipinge is a constant because it never changes. And it but I know good hangu sometimes kuti panoona kuzoitika zvinoitika nyika ikadambuka nepakati ukaitika kana cyclone idai or something Chipinge yobva yawedzera kudzika uzasi kana kuti pobva magadzirwa road new one inoenda but basically a constant value isingachinji. When we were talking about the calculation yangaitaurwa nakuda kwashe, for instance, yekuti toda kunyora program inochinja ma kgs to ma pounds and the reverse, we know kuti there's a constant involved. 1 pound and it's 1 pound is 0.453 of a kilogram, and it will never change that value. And so that value is stored in what is called a constant. And another constant, for example, is 360 degrees. And circle, and circle is 360 degrees. That's like never going to change. If you do a full circle, unengo 10 at 360 degrees. Adzite 260 kana 399 kana 140. Same way a straight line will always be 180 degrees. My angles are changed. And can anyone give me another example of a constant?
A day, 24 hours.
Well, it's a bad constant because technically it's not 24 hours. But I get what you mean. Yeah, it's a good example. In a week is 7 days. Yeah, because February they are not considered. Sometimes I know 28 and 29 and a quarter days. Sometimes 28 days because time. And you know what, in some countries, when they know the daylight saving time, they actually adjust my watch out. So, but it's a good example. A day is 24 hours. Another example.
The speed of light.
Speed of light is constant. Okay. Yeah, this one is
Pi.
this one. Yes, pi is 22/7. Achinje, and this is don't zvatori pi. Any other example? Anyway, I'm not going to send any examples, but I think the idea of a constant in my matter is that if value is single change, you will always have that same value every time. So my variables, my constants, for you to actually get what they serve programming, because they give us my values. Whenever we call a constant, for example, pi, we expect to get a value from pi. Whenever we say speed of light, we expect to get that value. Whenever we say my constants attached number of seconds in an hour, we always get a value. So you can have a value stored in a constant, or you can have a value stored in a variable. The difference is that my values which are stored in a constant, they never change. And it's a constant value. It is always constant. But my values which are stored in variables, these ones can change. They are variable. So for example, if I say, give me a name, all of you can give me different names. But you got to give me the number of hours in a day, you will give me the same value. And did Papa
Yes.
Apana Sara did right. So it's also patinotorama inputs edu. And because earlier on we were talking about the process in input, process, output, and patinotorama inputs edu, we take them and so that we can contain them, so that we can preserve them as constants or as variables. And now we will talk about the complexity of the constants. We'll talk about the complexity of the variable, because like he mentioned earlier, Dianiko and sheet number stripes. Dian Tinasha, did you? Mapungwana.
Yeah.
All right. So, like Mapungwana was saying earlier, Kuti, Ushida calculate a BMI, you need two values, and you need height moon and you need weight and so depending on the kind of input you are to and the complexity, it affects the kind of variable. Patino chengetera patino chengetera data ready. And it teaches.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's the aspect of complexity, but then there's also the aspect of whether you are using a constant or you are using a variable. And think about it. Input, processing, output yako. You have to have your input stored in a certain way, and then you carry out, you conduct whatever processes on that data, and then you get your output. And it is a papa. So we want to do quickly put some. Dinamo around the list some class mom.
Listen.
Oh. I see she's attempting to join and Hasatambuta class. And it.
Yeah. I told you.
Yeah, she's a problem. Saka to join up, but to now to mumisa up a fire.
Yeah.
Because you not shall missing out. Nay, Munoaja and little Muzi, Abandrukuti is student. Anyway, so we want to do a quick, the reason why Tagara and pamacomputers akainstollewa Python handiti. It's because we want to actually write my programs in. Mr. Maoneke, masimzaroko. Mati? All right, it's okay. Right. The reason why tagara pamakompyuta ane Python is because toda kutoita tichipota tichinyora handiti Python yacho. So kunyora Python kuri paviri. You can either write it uchishandisa inonzi integrated development environment. I believe we talked about it pandakaya kuchipinge papa IDE handiti. Or we can use the console. That's your command, your DOS. And you choose kuti unoshandisa chi, but inini I prefer kuti tishandise IDE because IDE it gets us to be very productive very quickly. And my tool sets akawanda anenge atori integrated kudhara, so that you don't have to bother yourself zvakanyanya with kudzidza kuti how do I activate an environment? I activate and access sei? So that we don't have zvakawanda. Wakaisa PyCharm here, Brian? Fantastic. Munhu wese ngativhure PyCharm yedu. Inini I'm going to share my screen here. Let me talk to that old man. Right. Lisa, how are you? Lisa, how are you, Lisa? Call Lisa, wacho ask kudaira food. Right, guys. Indri kushare screen yangu handiti so that mukwanise kuonawo futi yangu screen. But ndoda kunzwa kuti mimi mawin hereko. Ko guys, hamusi kutaura neni ka. Handichazivi zviri kuitika inini.
Na PyCharm yavhurwa.
Nemunhu wese.
Eh.
Fantastic. Saka PyCharm medu handiti ka. Toda kungonyora tuma programs turi very very simple handiti. Tuno demonstrator. Toda tuma program twedu 2 twatataurirwa kuti. One yakuda kwashe ne one ya nigirigini ya tinashe handiti. Muda kutanga neipi? Ngatange neyakuda kwashe because inoda value 1 handiti. Handiti ndizvo handiti. So pane makatarisa inonzi chi PyCharm yenyu kudai so handiti. Handizi kuti zvamuri kuona zvakafanana nezviri pascreen pangu iyi kana zvakasiyana. So that tiite kuti zvifanane because zvinofanira kufanana. Munofanira kuti mavhura PyCharm mobva mati create new project. Then mobva mati pure Python. Handiti. Masvika here patasvika guys. Omana mimi amuzumbo taura nini mimi. Azvokufani kunetsa kuwana. Mukangouya mukanzi file apo. Handiti. Mukabatidza PyCharm yenyu. Handiti. Kana kuti tarisai screen yangu alright. Tarisai screen yangu ndi close zvese. Nditangidze. Handiti. Mira muone. Ndikavhura PyCharm yangu pane pakanzi new project. Handiti. Mukabaya pakanzi new project ipapo. Handiti. Mukatarisa to your left inolista matypes emaprojects amunogona kugadzira. Handiti. The one at the very top inofanira yakanzi pure Python. Kana yakangonzi Python. All right, guys, can you take a screenshot and share? Ndione kuti zviri kubuda zvakaita sei. Kana ungoti munhu ngaangotora picture andisire pa WhatsApp. Ndione kuti zviri kubuda zvakaita sei. So guys 12 yakutochaka. Zoom yauda kutokata 40 minutes kuti tigadzire meeting nyowani but ona ka musati mandiratidzana nhasi. Inoda kuda kuti medhemo aite mimi muripo akomana imimi. Indawa so imimi. Yeah? Lisa Zoya. Ari kupi Lisa? uya padhuze nekamera, uya padhuze nekamera. Iwe hautauri hautauri muklasi, unenge wakangonyarara, unorovha maleseni, sendisingakuzivi.
Munondiziva makanga rose.
Takamboonana kupi?
Muno musoro makauya imanda. Nditi zvito makauya izvizvo.
Musi wemanda ungorima wewe.
Ndito makatanga kuhoresa muchipinda padhoa.
Ndakamudzidzisa but you guys, computer inotatidzwa ika, munhu yatovhura kudhara pure Python. Murufana unoona mudhara uyu aramba achindifonera. Ari kugera panze uyu. Ari kudei? Unomubvunza kuti muri kude, musafonera munhu ari mulecture. Ndiri kuona kuti inonzi chii, matovhura kudhara, saka apapa you just need to dismiss, you can't keep clicking create new project. Apapa yato create kudhara, so you can close ka pop up kari pamusoro, because yakato create a project kudhara, file rakanzi main.py ritoripo kudhara. Saka just dismiss ka pop up kari pamusoro ikakako, because we already are where we want to be. Mongono click a file rakanzi main.py which is to your left. Pazasi pakanyorwa kunzi VNV. If kuyanyora kuti lee first uyu ndiye ari kuconfuse zvinhu zvese. Akunyora kuti lee first. Ndilisa. Asi lisa here. Ari kudei? Saka guys, let's just make sure kuti tiri kuvhura screen rakafanana. Handizoti zvokuti umwe ndiri kuita zvinhu zvangu ndega, handiti. Ndakushare screen yangu, handiti. Okay, so this meeting is about to cut off. I'm generating a new meeting link. Ndo share